Hello there, it's Christine Lucan, the Financial Lifeguard. First of all, I want to thank those of you who commented and sent me questions regarding the first video in this series, which was the 4 lies that money gurus tell you. And then, of course, I reveal the real truth about rescuing your financial dignity. What I found interesting is that a lot of people felt like if they weren't able to follow these gurus' advice, that there was something wrong with them. And if they couldn't follow through on the plan and they couldn't stick with it long term, that there was something wrong with them, and they felt, ashamed of themselves, and they felt like failures. And that was one of the reasons why I recorded that video, because the problem usually isn't with the actual person, it's with the method. And with most of those lies that I addressed, there was something on a deeper level that was really missing. So the methods in and of themselves aren't wrong, but the problem is things like cutting up credit cards and living on a restrictive budget. They're not things that can be sustained long term. And that's the reason why most people can't stick with them for the long haul. And so I really uncovered the emotions behind these various lies and set the record straight. So if you haven't watched that video, I highly recommend that you do that. So I am super excited for the launch of Financial Dignity on Demand, which will be coming out next week. That's one of the reasons why I created the program in the first place. And it's because a lot of people have misconceptions about success with money long term. And there is a lot of shame and embarrassment around financial issues. And so a lot of people, even at very high income levels, they keep quiet about their financial issues because they're ashamed of them and they feel like there is something wrong with them, that they haven't figured this out yet. And it's so interesting because the clients that I work with one-on-one, there is always some emotional component to the financial picture. And unfortunately, most financial literacy programs leave that part out entirely. And I know from personal experience, because when I hit financial rock bottom, I had a degree in accounting. So I'm someone who should have known exactly what to do, and I did. And yet I didn't do it. And it was because the emotions were at war with what I knew in my head. And whenever you pit your emotions against your head knowledge, your emotions are always going to win. And that's why I'm so excited about Financial Dignity on Demand, because I show you how to harness the power of your emotions and use them in your favor to achieve your money goals. And that is what makes this program unique. And here's the thing. I know that it works because this is the exact same stuff that I do with my one-on-one coaching clients. And as much as I would love to work with each and every one of you individually, there's only one of me. And, I can only work with so many people one-on-one at a time. And I know that for some of you, that might not be affordable. And that is why I created this program. But the title of this video is actually the most important question you should ask before you start budgeting. And if you've followed me for any length of time, you know I am trying to phase out the word budget and budgeting just because people have such a negative connotation with it. And it brings up those images of, eating beans and rice and driving a car that's held together with duct tape. So I prefer to call it a spending plan, which is part of your overall prosperity plan. But most people refer to it as a budget. And so most people will just rush headlong into creating the plan. They'll start writing down everything that they're spending and, try to figure out where they can make some tweaks. But the problem is there's an important step that's being left out. And here's what it is. It's asking themselves the most important question. And that question is, if you woke up tomorrow and you felt really good about your money, what has changed? And so for some people, it might be my student loans are paid off. I have at least $10,000 in my savings for emergencies. My spouse and I are talking about money rather than fighting about money. Or maybe it's, I'm able to quit this high-stress job that I hate and take a job that has a lower salary but is more fulfilling to me. But maybe you can't do that right now because you have debt and other expenses that are keeping you from doing that. And this is something that I do with all of my one-on-one coaching clients. In fact, we dig really deep into this question. During our first appointment, we actually spend a good chunk of time really delving into this. And so I don't have time to go super deep in this video, but I want you to think about, before you even make a plan, what does success look like for you? What is your preferred financial destination? And so really be thinking about, if I woke up tomorrow and I did feel really good about my money, what has changed? Do I have cash in my savings account so I can take a trip to something that's been on my bucket list? So maybe it's Hawaii or maybe it's Ireland. What are those things that are going to be really fulfilling to you? Because here's the thing. It's not about the money itself, it's what the money represents. And so that can be freedom, security, options, travel, different things that make your life easier. And here's the thing. It's different for each and every one of you. So some of it is going to depend on your family situation, your current financial situation, and your own personal preferences. And this is why a cookie cutter type budget is probably not going to work for you, because it doesn't take into consideration what your unique goals are. And so unfortunately, a lot of personal finance programs, they really don't take into account that vision and what is your vision for your life once you have reached that point of being financially healthy and financially prosperous. So before you start any program, whether it's Financial Dignity on Demand or anything else, it's really important for you to delve into that and get very clear about that. And so when I'm working one-on-one with clients, we actually have several specific exercises that we do to go more deeply into that. And those exercises are included in the Financial Dignity on Demand program. So, I want to talk just a little bit about the program because it will be coming out actually just in a couple of days. And, there are so many awesome things that I have packed in there. In fact, there are more than 40 video lessons. So you get me as your coach. I am teaching you all of these lessons, and there's also bonus lessons as well. So in some of the instances, there is a guest expert who is teaching on a particular topic. And the great thing about the program is that it's customizable. So if a particular lesson doesn't apply to you, then you don't necessarily need to do that particular lesson. And I think that's something that's missing from a lot of other programs, that they aren't customizable to your situation. So next week is going to be awesome because we're going to do some launch week specials, and that is going to include some live interactions with me. So if you are someone that wants to get in and you know you want to do this program, you're definitely going to want to purchase during launch week, because you're going to not only get special pricing, but you are going to get live access to me, which will not be available after the launch week. So you'll certainly want to take advantage of that. So I want you guys to join the launch week event on Facebook, and I'm going to be including the link in the description here so you can click on that and comment in the group and let me know what your big goals are for your finances in 2019. And of the people who comment, we are going to randomly pick one person for a special bonus. So you want to be sure to do that. All right, guys, I am really looking forward to having you join me next week in Financial Dignity on Demand, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.